broke in to the house and just started destroying things. Now, they evidently slept on the couch, got the Kool-Aid out of the refrigerator. I'm not touching anything until the police get here. If I don't know if they're going to do anything.
Oh, that's so disrespectful, bro. This guy went into his house, robbed his house, took out the Kool-Aid from the fridge, drank it, and left it on the floor. This might be the most disrespectful thing ever.
I'm trying to figure out. They just started throwing things and breaking them. It doesn't look like they were stealing a lot of things. Here's firewood that they used. I mean, there are so many things here they could have stolen. And all they did was break stuff.
On Twitch.
As soon as he records the damage, it becomes pretty clear that this is no ordinary burglary.
You have to spin back.
Instead of taking any valuables, the thief ate Jeff's food from the fridge, turned the place upside down, and didn't even bother to clean up the evidence of his intrusion, including a glass of Kool-Aid and a slice of pizza he left on the floor next to the couch. From multiple pieces of pottery to stained glass windows to a clothes iron, whoever broke into the house apparently just wanted to have some fun throwing things, breaking furniture, and generally making a mess of the house. For the next few minutes, the recording continues in pretty much the same way, with Jeff narrating the damage caused to his property. But when he goes upstairs and steps into his bedroom, he finds something extremely disturbing.
There ain't no way he pee-peed on the bed. Don't tell me he pee-peed on the bed, bro.
There is somebody sleeping in the bed in the bedroom. I don't know who it is.
So someone, what, wait, right now? Like now?
There is somebody sleeping in the bed in the bedroom.
Now?
I don't know who it is.
Take out the brick then!
Chillingly, the footage shows a random person sleeping on Jeff's bed. Shocked at the sight of the stranger, Jeff did the only reasonable thing to do at that moment and locked himself in another room while he waited for the police.
Hands on top of your head. You got a light in there?
Wait a minute. I'm gonna line up over here. Sure, where is it?
What's your deal?
No. You drank that man's Kool-Aid from the fridge.
I have no idea who this is.
40 foot this way, I'm 10, 15.
How is he so calm about this? Who is this man? Why is he not?
After finding the stranger in the victim's bed, the cops asked the intruder if he's under the influence of drugs, and even though he denies it, it's pretty clear that he had tried to open some of Jeff's prescription medication bottles. When asked what he's doing sleeping in another man's bed, he claims he doesn't know how he ended up there. One of the things that's most surprising about the footage is that for a guy who just single-handedly destroyed an entire house, the intruder went down pretty easily, not even putting up a fight when the officer put the cuffs on. Even more disturbing is the fact that the man doesn't even seem to remember his own name, suggesting he was almost 100% under the influence of something during the break-in. Later in the investigation, the identity of the intruder was revealed as 39-year-old Stacy Foster, a Fraser's Bottom, West Virginia resident who is consequently charged with nighttime burglary and destruction of property following his actions at Jeff's house.
Another man's bed and stealing his Kool-Aid?
Following the charges, Stacy was placed in Western Regional Jail on $50,000 bond, but it wasn't publicly announced what the authorities decided to do with him after that, nor was it revealed how he ended up vandalizing a random home and sleeping in a stranger's bed.
Yo, that is so diabolical.
What if you could do all your SEO in one tab?
I thought he might have peed in his bed or something. I don't know.
On Monday, July 25th, 2016, a man named Jack Makercher and his girlfriend Jordan Baranskis came back from dinner at a restaurant near their home in Chicago and fell asleep watching TV on the couch, as they often like to do. The next day, Jordan realized her purse was missing, leading to an argument in which Jack accused her of leaving it at the restaurant. To find out what really happened and put the matter to rest, the couple retraced their steps by scrolling through the previous night's surveillance videos. When they rewound the tape to around 3:30 a.m., they found something pretty terrifying. A man who the couple didn't know stood at the top of their stairway looking down at them sleeping on the couch below. He had apparently snuck in through their unlocked front door, silently walked past them up the stairs, and proceeded to stare down at them for a total of 4 minutes, just hovering above them as he watched them sleep. Disturbingly, the man moved so slowly and quietly through the house that he didn't even wake up the couple's 2 dogs who were sleeping at Jack and Jordan's feet next to the couch. As soon as the couple reported the incident to the cops, the sheriff mentioned he suspected the same man was probably responsible for other neighborhood burglaries that had taken place in the days leading up to the break-in of Jack and Jordan's house.
This is so disrespectful.
In the days following
bro.
the incident, some nearby residents even uploaded pictures to Facebook of the intruder casually riding through dark alleys on a bike and attempting to break into homes. And after reviewing their doorbell footage, it's clear the man was looking for an entryway into any one of the homes. It's pretty strange to see how someone who managed to sneak into a house undetected by the couple and their 2 dogs decided to only walk away with a purse, but thankfully the thought of harming the victims never entered his head. In an interview with WGN-TV, Jordan said she liked to think the man was watching the TV and not them sleeping on the couch.
Boy, you think lady, you know he's analyzing your movements right now.
But that much would be impossible to confirm.
He's watching
After the
Yankees.
incident, the couple were left
what is that,
understandably
robot?
shaken. But despite their efforts to warn their neighbors and the manhunt that followed the disturbing incident, the suspect was never found.
This guy stole a purse.
Flushing, Queens is generally considered by its residents to be a relatively safe place to live. But in 2015, footage of an incident at a house on 33rd Avenue near Union Street went viral and put a lot of the neighborhood's residents on edge. One night in late November of that year, security cameras caught a man wearing a backpack and a black cap with the word "Diamond" written on it, casually walking up to the front door of this 4-bedroom house.
I still even haven't got my original
After entering
edit,
through the
so I'm
unlocked
not doing
back
that.
door, the intruder can be seen prowling around the house on his tiptoes to avoid detection. And a few minutes later, he drops to his hands and knees and crawls on the floor while holding what appears to be a knife between his teeth. Disturbingly, the homeowners were lying in the bed in that same room while the burglar crawled around and snagged a cell phone.
Kinda smart, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Not that I'm promoting it, but like the movements are all suppressed.
From one of the dressers.
You're like on your knees.
Although this was the end of the video that was released by police, the seconds that followed were even more intense, as the homeowner revealed that just moments later he was woken up by the sound of the intruder crawling on the floor. Upon seeing the homeowner jolt out of the bed, the suspect immediately got up and fled, and fortunately, nobody was injured during the incident. During the investigation, police described the suspect as 6'2" and 200 pounds, but despite the incriminating footage, they were never able to find him. It's pretty disturbing to imagine what he was planning on using the knife for, especially considering that along with the 2 adults in the same room, there were also 3 kids in the house at the time of the break-in. After the incident, the homeowners mentioned they learned their lesson and never left their back door unlocked again. As for the suspect, what he went on to do with his life is anyone's guess.
You should have had that.
On the evening
Come on,
before
bro.
Thanksgiving in 2020, Joey Archer, his wife Beth, and their young daughters were asleep in their home in Raynor, Washington, when they were suddenly woken up by the sound of their doorbell ringing ferociously at around 6:30 a.m. Immediately, Joey got up and ran to the front door, thinking it could be a neighbor in need of help. While her husband rushed to greet the stranger, Beth checked their security cameras and noticed that her car was no longer in the driveway. To her horror, she also saw a bearded man she didn't recognize trying to break into Joey's car with a shovel.
What? What? Bro, this guy's so... Bro, just... Yo, this guy's so bad at robbing.
Shocked at what he saw when he arrived at the front door, Joey decided not to confront the unstable intruder and immediately called the police to report the incident while he helplessly watched the man damage his car with the shovel. While all this was happening, Beth ran to their 2 daughters' bedrooms to let them know that someone was trying to break into their house and told them to jump out the window and run to the family's barn to hide while they figured out what to do. As the girls ran to the barn, Joey noticed the stranger had taken his attention off the car and was now using the shovel to break down their front door. Realizing his life and the safety of his family was now in danger, after the intruder had broken the glass on the door, he yanked the shovel out of his hands at just the right moment and used was now using the shovel to break down their front door. Realizing his life and the safety of his family was now in danger, after the intruder had broken the glass on the door, he yanked the shovel out of his hand at just the right moment and used it to hit him on the head twice before chasing him out into the yard and subduing him while he waited for the cops to arrive.
He spun back. Hit that.
Following the incident, the family chose not to identify the man due to safety concerns, but the cops promptly charged him with residential burglary, criminal trespassing, and vehicle prowling. Still confused as to how the man had gotten into their property, the Archers reviewed the footage and looked at everything the intruder had done prior to them waking up, including jumping over the fence to get into their driveway. As they soon realized, the man had been on their property for about half an hour before they woke up, rummaging through their garage and backing one of their cars into a ditch. In a Facebook post he made after the incident, Joey described the invasion as every dad's worst nightmare and encouraged other nearby residents to install security cameras for their family's safety. After the nightmare the Archers went through, Joey bought a shotgun and a pistol and upgraded his barn's security and surveillance systems to prevent a similar incident from happening again. As for the intruder, it was never confirmed if he was under the influence of something at the time of the invasion, but the fact that he rang the doorbell for several minutes before trying to break into the car and then the house suggests he was likely not in his right mind.
A couple minutes to get inside.
It's possible the man was suffering from the effects of a pretty severe mental illness, but because the Archers decided to keep the case private, we'll likely never know for sure.
I'm surprised he ain't crash out here.
This footage was recorded in March 2019 by security cameras in an apartment in the Bronx, New York. The disturbing footage shows an intruder prowling around a baby's nursery, where a 2-month-old baby lay sleeping in her crib. Although the suspect doesn't seem to be showing any interest in the sleeping child, it's still pretty disturbing to see him do something so evil and selfish right in front of an innocent baby. After rifling through the baby's bedroom for a couple of minutes, the suspect was scared off by the sound of the baby's 32-year-old father walking around in the living room. But instead of calling it a night, the man then broke into another apartment on a different floor of the same building, which belonged—
Spamming the same server, bro? Are you serious? You're so disrespectful!
—to a 28-year-old woman. This time, his burglary attempt was successful, and he got away with some jewelry, a bicycle, and a backpack. As it was later revealed, the man entered both of the apartments through the unsecured fire exit windows. Even though the man's face can be seen pretty clearly in the footage, and the NYPD put out a Crime Stoppers alert on him, after the man fled the area, he was never seen again. It's possible that he went on to burglarize more homes in the same neighborhood after that night, but we'll likely never know for sure.
Bro, how are you gonna get—
April 2021, a woman named Shayla O'Brien and her husband were inside their home in North Carolina when their 13-year-old son went outside to walk their dog. As soon as he walked out the door, the Ring camera footage captured a suspicious silver BMW stop in front of the family's front lawn, after which a strange man got out of the vehicle and approached the teenager.
Yo, bro. Taking a walk at night? First of all,
Honey, do you live here already, my wife? Huh? Oh, do you live here already?
Without even introducing himself, the man asked the boy if he lives in the neighborhood. According to the teenager's mother, she and her husband had taught their son about stranger danger multiple times in the past, but on this particular occasion, the boy appeared to freeze up out of fear. What's most disturbing about the recording is that the man didn't waste a split second to get out of the car and talk to the boy, which suggests he was either prowling around the neighborhood waiting for someone to step out of their house, or he was very familiar with the Bryant family's routine and was specifically targeting the boy. Fortunately, the teenager's father was able to intervene before anything could happen.
Ultra instincts, how'd you know?
What you got to ask my son?
Oh yeah.
I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Boy! Airplane noise? What are you talking about?
What you got to ask my son?
Oh, I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Talking to my son and he ain't got no adult out here. That's kind of creepy.
When the boy's father confronts him, the stranger is forced to think quickly on his feet and blurts out that he was wondering about the airplane noise in the area. Obviously, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be driving around a random neighborhood waiting for a 13-year-old kid to walk out of his house just to ask him a question like that, and the father doesn't appear to buy the story for a second. Shayla Bryant, the boy's mother, mentioned she remained apprehensive after the incident, especially since it was never confirmed what exactly the man was planning to do. The suspect drove off soon after and was never seen again.
Whether you're setting up a new nest, starting your own flock.
On July 15th, 2022, a TikToker uploaded this chilling footage of an unexpected visit to her home while she was gone. In it, a disturbing voice can be heard asking to be let in at her house's back door.
Reuse clips.
Look like he knows it. Troy, Michigan captured in August 2019, a security camera inside a home in Troy, Michigan captured a suspicious man walking up the stairs and looking around the house. Based on his body language, it doesn't look like he knows his way around the home, and that's because he broke in. Although the next part of the incident wasn't caught on camera, a few seconds after walking up the stairs, the man walked into the homeowner's bedroom, where he found her sleeping. Disturbingly, the woman reported that she woke up screaming to the man standing over her bed. The intruder immediately ran out of the house, but even with the footage, police were left with no leads on who this could have been or how he had gotten in. It wasn't until 2 months later in October of that year that the same man was once again captured on camera in another home in Rochester Hills, Michigan.
See, this is the type of quality you need.
In this incident, the man can be seen climbing onto the hot tub and peering through the window for a few seconds before walking away. Although the incident was also reported by this homeowner, the man continued to dodge the police for several months after that. Then, in January 2020, the man made yet another appearance in the area. In this instance, he peered through the kitchen window of a house in Bloomfield Township and hid behind a tree, after which the homeowner received a notification from his home security camera alerting him to the stranger's presence. Even though the first part of the incident wasn't caught on camera, footage of the man walking along the side of the house was later released.
That, bro, how can you even tell? What am I even looking at? Is that the guy?
Once again, the intruder evaded the authorities, and
that could be anyone. You can't even see who it is! His back is turned!
Wasn't until a few days later that the police finally made a break in the case. In February 2020, the same man was seen by a cop running from a residential yard in Bloomfield Township in the same neighborhood as the last time he was captured on video. This time he was arrested, issued a citation and a restraining order, and forced to wear a GPS tether until his court date. The man was identified as 27-year-old Donovan Johnson, and it was later revealed that he worked as a bankruptcy attorney. After he was put in jail and released on bond, there were no further updates on the case. But if he was convicted, it's likely he's still serving time to this day.
He didn't get moolah from that?
In September 2018, a man named Jeff Knoll uploaded a disturbing video to his channel, which he titled, "Man Trying to Enter My Home in the Middle of the Night." In it, a creepy man can be seen approaching the front door of a home and seemingly attempting to find a way in.
Yo, there ain't no way you taking a piss in front of that man's house, bro. There is no way you're doing this right now.
At first, the break-in seems pretty non-threatening, but a few seconds later, the man begins pulling on the doorknob and talking to himself.
Oh, good. Very much. So blinding. What?
Some of what he says you can somewhat make out, but most of it is unclear. Before the man can go any further with his break-in attempt, the homeowner calls out from a window and threatens to call the police.
Did he here open up? How are you just noticing, man?
Okay, I was just looking for a dog fighter.
Boy, what is the dog gonna be doing? You think the dog owns the house or something?
Whoa. You don't have to get all like that and stuff, honey.
Boy, you...
You know, we could be friends.
Is this guy a cartoon character?
The man gives an almost laughable excuse, saying he was just looking for his dog Fido. He then tells the woman that they could be friends before walking off into the night. The man was never seen again by the uploader, and they still have no idea what his intentions were if he had gotten into the house.
You'll never know how much I love you. When you're gone, I just...
This terrifying footage was captured in April 2023 in Connecticut. At 9:30 a.m., a man was recorded walking up the front door of a house wearing an orange vest and holding a package in his hand. As soon as the homeowner opens the door, things get disturbing pretty quickly.
Kind of a genius robber, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Kind of a genius robber. Not to give him praise, but... It's kind of... Gotta admit.
To make himself seem more genuine, the man pretends to read an address on the package as the homeowner makes his way to the door. But little did he know, the man wasn't there to deliver a package.
I don't think this is for you.
Oh! You're gonna get bullied like that while you pull out the switch? How you gonna get bullied like that, bro? Come on! Danny, you run away while you got the Glock in your hand, man. You are... Ugh! This man went
in an
up
attempt to
Superman.
confuse the homeowner, the man tries to give him the package, but when the owner hesitates, the suspect immediately pulls
out. Who is this man? Yo!
Weapon and tries to back the owner into his house. However, the homeowner pushes the man away before retreating into his home. After the armed man ran away, he was identified by police as 37-year-old Xavier Otero and was arrested at a family member's house in nearby Hartford, Connecticut. Otero was promptly charged with home invasion, threatening, criminal possession of a firearm, and criminal attempt to commit unlawful restraint. During the investigation, the cops learned about an alleged plot to take part in a home invasion, where the occupants of the home were going to be restrained and robbed at gunpoint.
Yo, this is actually insane!
The suspect also mentioned something about possibly invading a second home in Manchester,
and he got homies with him. He got his like friends in the van.
Connecticut. While executing a search and seizure warrant on the home where they found Otero, police said they found approximately 1.1 kilograms of drugs and other items commonly used in the operation of a drug factory. In the same room, the cops found a bag full of heavy-duty zip ties. Shortly after Otero's arrest, police also took the driver of the truck into custody and charged him with conspiracy to commit home
He snitched because he ain't even on the cams.
Invasion and conspiracy to commit unlawful restraint. A month after these arrests, a third suspect was taken into custody. He was identified as the mastermind behind the operation and promptly sentenced to prison. As of now, all three suspects are still in jail.
Hey, good concept, but the guy sucked.
This
the guy
eerie
sucked.
and confusing
Good
footage was
concept,
captured by a
though,
homeowner's Ring camera one night in August 2023 in an otherwise peaceful neighborhood in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Full screen,
in the
bad
footage,
quality.
a masked man can be seen ringing the doorbell and immediately running away.
You what?
Where'd he go? Did he become
Initially, the incident appears to be a pretty lame ding-dong ditch attempt, which almost every homeowner has been the victim of at some point or another. But looking closely at the footage, you'll notice the man never actually ran away.
Is he aura farming? What is it? Where's your phone to him? Hey, what's the point of doing... Bro, there's no way you're this lame!
While the man stood in the middle of the street staring eerily at the door, the homeowner made his way down the stairs after being woken up by the sound of the doorbell. As soon as he saw this figure just eyeing him down in the middle of the street, he called the cops. The next day, Bowling Green police posted the video on Facebook, asking the man's neighbors to help identify the masked intruder. And it didn't take long for other residents of the area to complain that they had been through similar incidents in the days leading up to the uploading of the video. Following the incident, the man was never identified by police. His intentions are still unknown.
Bro was camping.
On a rainy morning in 2020, a Ring camera captured a woman walking up to the front door of a house and ringing the doorbell repeatedly.
What is this? Oh, that was a yawn. That was a long yawn. Oh, she's still opening her mouth.
Strangely, the woman keeps her mouth wide open almost the entire time, but it's unclear if this is due to the influence of drugs, or maybe if it's a symptom of potential illness. After a few seconds of waiting, the woman turns around and leaves. The fact that she can be seen apparently putting her fingers in her mouth as she turns to leave suggests that she might have been in pain, a theory that was echoed by several viewers in the Reddit thread where the clip was originally posted. Other viewers suggested the woman might have been sleepwalking as a result of some powerful sleep medication. But because the clip was captured at 6 a.m., it's also possible that she had been wandering around all night. However, it remains unclear if the woman was genuinely asking for help or if she was possibly planning to do something else entirely.
So I have a hot take. AI is not just a buzzword if you use Monday CRM.
I'm so glad you...
This footage was captured at around 1:35 p.m. on October 16, 2018 in Alberta, Canada. According to the homeowner, he received a motion alert from his Ring camera while he was at work. Because it was unusual for him to have visitors in the middle of the day, he immediately activated the live view feature, and that's when he saw this.
Classic. It's kind of a new trend in the robot world, huh? Becoming a delivery guy.
At first, he mentioned how he didn't think there was anything strange going on, seeing how the visitor was dressed similarly to most utility and telecom workers in the area. But after the man began banging insistently on the door and peering through the window into the house, he immediately became suspicious.
Bro, relax, bro. Like, this is not how it goes. Not that I'm giving him advice. And he's trying to... Yo, this guy sucks, bro. How are you going to have a great idea to become...
After prying at the door with a glove to avoid leaving fingerprints, the man motions to his accomplice to come to the door, and that's when things get even more disturbing.
Bro, we already seen you. We already know your faces, bro. Do you know that this is saved?
Get away from the door.
The lion roars.
While the man in the Yankees cap acts as a lookout, the man in the vest uses what appears to be a large screwdriver to violently pry the door open and break in. After managing to get the door partially open, the homeowner manages to activate the two-way talk function and makes his presence known. After the video was made public, the homeowner was interviewed by local police about the incident. The video was then posted to Facebook, where many neighbors and nearby residents claimed to know who the two men were.
What?
However, it was never confirmed if the two suspects were apprehended. Based on what was captured on video, the two men were most likely planning an armed robbery. But with no further context, it's impossible to know if that's really what they had in mind, or if they plan to do something worse. As of this upload, there have been no further updates on the incident.
Damn, bro.